Yeah, it was a scary thing to start Mountain Hardware for me. I'd been at Sierra Design since 1971, and in 93, I thought we were going to buy Sierra Designs, and we'd offered more money than they finally took, as you remember. But they didn't want us as competitors, and you suggested to me, I sort of thought I should probably get a real job someday. But I kept getting sort of interesting new versions at Sierra Designs, and when you told me that, should we start our own company, I basically was slightly embarrassed not to just go, yeah, absolutely, or to have thought of it first. And I said, yeah, oh my God, this is a scary thing. I mean, I mortgaged my house. My wife supported me totally, and she said, let's do it. And we mortgaged we took every penny we had and put it into the company. And it was very scary. And, as you said, the first few weeks, so that we hadn't gotten a check yet from Ian, well, I remember basically, well, here's the mortgage for my house, and I put my $100,000 in, or whatever it was at the time, from that, and put more money in later. It was a scary thing, and I think now I'd have no problem because I know more about what makes a company work, and I know we could do it. But then it was I didn't know all the parts. It was interesting. It was an amazing first few weeks there at the new office, because it was the beginning of November, and we had to show samples. It wasn't that we had to show samples only at February. We had to show a few of the dealers in December, and we worked Ingrid and I, and it was clothing first. It wasn't any tents and that kind of stuff, but we worked our butts off to try and get fabrics. I was working madly to get the fabrics and get people to make the stuff, and Clareanne too. And then Ingrid was, just working like crazy on these designs. And I mean, it was, 60-hour, 70-hour weeks basically doing that kind of stuff. We had such a great crew there. And, not saying, but everybody in the industry, we had 99 people targeted, or 89 or whatever it was. And we got, one less than that. And that was due to your respect in the industry, and Mike's respect, the fact he'd worked his butt off there, and a few of the people knew me, and they said, oh, these guys are going to try and pull it together. And that was not only the dealers, but it was also the suppliers, because we were going out there and saying, hey, sell us some fabric. And, whereas you think, oh, sure, they'd be glad to sell some fabric. Well, do you have the money to buy it? And will you have enough money to buy the material, the finished product? And for instance, Gore. Well, certainly the two biggest suppliers for us at the time was Malden Mills, who was, Polar Fleece, and they didn't sell to everybody, because they didn't sell to Sierra Designs for a long time there, because Sierra Designs was buying somebody else's. And so we said, we want Malden, Polar Fleece, and we want Gore. Well, Gore had a license and system, and most people, new companies, they didn't let new companies in. It was a year minimum wait to get a license. And we had it in a week, because they respected the people there at the company. And it was the first time they'd ever awarded a license to anyone in less than 6 months. So it's a big deal.